Okay, welcome back. This is ACI 5. So happy to see everyone back. Let me see. Okay. Oh, we have Laura and Daniel. We have Ami. They're off their videos. I don't know whether maybe it's not convenient for them to talk. Anyhow, welcome. Welcome to ACI 5. And we will just dive in. All right, we'll just dive in. We'll start off with setting our motivation. So let's just get ready. Let's just get ready and sit up straight and close your eyes. And I invite you to think about the problems in your life. You can pick one, or maybe there's more than one. If you are a samsaric human being like me, I have my problems, things that I'm not happy about, things I don't get, things that don't go my way, things that are breaking apart. Some problems, some issues somewhere. And recognize that what we are going to learn in ACI 5, how karma works, will help us to better understand our reality, why this is happening to me. Why? And we will learn how we can stop creating the causes of our suffering and make a promise, a commitment that we will use what we are going to learn in ACI 5 to stop the leaking in our kitchen. Hold that motivation in your mind. And if you can, make your motivation bigger. And then you can go on to show others how they can stop the leaking in their kitchen. So hold that motivation in your mind, and may that motivation underlie our conversation today and throughout ACI 5. So when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay, ACI 5, how karma works, is based on Abhidhamma. Zain, I have good news. You see, I managed to share the screen in this way.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, I can see one side will be the slide, one side will be me, right? Yay. Yeah. Okay, so ACI 5, how karma works is based on Abhidhamma. There are 4 schools in India on Buddhist teaching. Okay, we have Abhidhamma school, Logic school, Mind Only school, and Madhyamika school. So this ACI 5 is based on Abhidhamma school. And they are all taught by Lord Buddha. Why Lord Buddha teach different schools? It's for different level of students. So Buddha teach at their level. And Buddha is an omniscient being that knows past, present, and future. And they designed that for us. Yeah, they probably can read our mind. We are somewhere, sometimes 1, sometimes 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 4. And an omniscient being that can see everything, spoken by an omniscient being 2,500 years ago. Probably they are right. So you can debate on that. That is in ACI 4. Okay, we try to prove whether can we rely on their authority. Okay, whether what they say, can we rely or not? Do they have valid perception? Yeah, you come to the conclusion yourself. You can, those who have not attended ACI 4, you can try to, I find that ACI 4 is very important. Don't skip that, please. So if you have time, go back and do a review on that. And why Lord Buddha teach different schools? So for me, it would be like if I have a 3-year-old child, I can't be teaching my 3-year-old child multiplication, right? I start out with numbers, right? They recognize numbers. Right? Then they learn how to do the sequence. Then I teach them addition, right? Then they're okay. I teach them subtraction. Then later on, maybe multiplication, then maybe division, and so forth. So it's meant to bring us up. Yeah. So there is no contradiction. And Abhidhamma school is a Hinayana, or we call it Theravada, 小乘 Hinayana, or Theravada, 小乘 is a small vehicular capacity. I go and find this picture. I like picture, you see, I learn when I need picture. Okay, small vehicular capacity, this one. Not that they are very small. It's more on because referring to their motivation. Their motivation is to work for themselves. Their motivation is to take themselves to freedom. Okay, for their own freedom. And mostly for their own freedom. Whereas in contrast is Mahayana 大乘. This one, the big shape. Big in what sense? In terms of their motivation. Their motivation is big. They want to reach total enlightenment in order to benefit all beings. So it's a big, right? Very big motivation. Not that the Theravada is any lesser, okay? Not that the Theravada, they are lesser, they are no good. It's mostly is in terms of their capacity. So the small boat you can see, the capacity is small. The big ship, the capacity is big. So it's in terms of their motivation. And that depends on, we learn in ACI, right? Whether you're a medium scope practitioner or the greater scope practitioner. So if you are a medium scope practitioner, your motivation is this, right? This one, I just want to take myself out of this samsara. Whereas for the greater scope practitioner, their motivation is to reach total enlightenment in order to benefit all beings. So now Abhidhamma. Okay. Abhidhamma, Abhi means up to or approaching. Up to or approaching. Dhamma means, Dhamma come from word the, D-H-I-R, the, that which possess a nature. That which possess a nature. Means anything that hold something, that hold a nature, which means an existing thing. Okay, existing thing. So Dhamma, normally, typically for us, we say, oh, Dhamma is a teaching. Yes, Dhamma is a teaching. Dhamma can also refer to all existing things. All existing things. So when Abhidhamma, it means that the thing that can bring you to the highest existing thing, which is Nirvana. What is the highest existing thing? Nirvana. Okay. So Abhidhamma is the thing that can bring you to Nirvana. Okay, what is Nirvana? Do a recap. ACI 2. Who want to tell me what is Nirvana? Anybody want to unmute or just type in the chat? What is Nirvana? Just a quick recap. Permanent? Permanent cessation? Yeah, somebody wrote, let me see. End of all suffering. Good. I should say end of all suffering. Yeah. Negative emotion, mainly a negative emotion. Rache is correct. Okay, so it's a permanent stopping or ending of all your mental affliction obstacles in their entirety due to seeing emptiness directly. Again, Nirvana is the permanent cessation of all your negative emotion, yeah, because you see emptiness directly. Raymond say, eliminated all mental affliction. Exactly. You eliminated all mental affliction and the obstacles. If you notice there's one word on these obstacles, I think it's the bakchak that have not ripened yet, those inside. Yeah, the more subtle level. And Laura and Daniel say a state of feeling bliss, nirvana. I suppose it must be very blissful because you have no negative emotion. You're peace. They call it peace, not the peace that we think. Yeah, it's a peace. It's a state of mind, correct? Yes, Jenny, it's a state of mind. Okay, so with that in mind, we go back to Abhidhamma. So Abhidhamma is the thing that can bring you to Nirvana, to this state. So what is that? What is that exactly? What is that can bring you to Nirvana? It's a knowledge. Knowledge. Or you can call it higher knowledge, or you can call that wisdom. Okay, so Abhidhamma, you can call that as knowledge, or higher knowledge, or wisdom. So why should we study Abhidhamma? Why study Abhidhamma? They say they can bring us to Nirvana, okay? They can bring us to Nirvana. So if I study, I have this knowledge, then I can reach Nirvana. Wow, not bad, huh? Okay. Yeah, I want that. Okay, I want that. I hope you want that also. Yay, I want that, yeah. They can bring me to Nirvana, knowledge that can bring me to Nirvana. I want that. So what kind of knowledge is this? Okay, tell me, what kind of knowledge is that? Okay, I want to know. What kind of knowledge is that? So, okay, we want to learn the knowledge. So I'll go into detail what is that knowledge shortly, but let's look at, now I want to learn the knowledge. So I need to rely on a text, right? A book. So what is the book that I'm using? We are going to use Abhidhamma Kosha. Okay, we are going to use Abhidhamma Kosha. So Abhidhamma Kosha is the text or the book that we use, and it is also used in the monastery. This is the text that they use in the monastery, the one that we are using. So now will be the boring part. Every time and talk about all these things, very sian, but no choice. It's our lineage. You can notice that our lineage, after a while, you will start to appreciate that. Yeah, we have a authentic lineage. We want to know the origin. We want to know the source, where they come from, even though they sound boring, but we want to know. But why we want to know? Because in ACI, chapter 4, we talk about authentic lineage, authentic source, if you remember authentic source. And it's so important that they say, if what you study is an authentic source, come from authentic source, then if you study, contemplate, meditate, then something will happen in your mind. You will gain realization. Chapter 4, we learn authentic source. I go and find for you. You remember this picture. Okay, they say, if what you learn is authentic Dharma, then if you study, contemplate, meditate, you will gain realization. You should become a better person. Something unusual will happen because it's a real Dharma. Okay? But if what you learn is not coming from an authentic origin, then you don't get a single sliver of true realization. It's like trashing water to make butter. Okay, so that is so important, that make me understand and appreciate our lineage. So we come from this authentic source. So we want to talk about the origin a bit. So Abhidhamma Kosha is the text that we are using, and it is also used in the monastery. And the author is Master Vasubandhu. His date is 350 AD. The word Kosha here, this word Kosha means treasure, from this picture, treasure. And why is it called treasure? Because Master Vasubandhu, he compiled all the 7 early Buddhist texts on Abhidhamma, composed by Lord Buddha disciple. Again, during those time, Lord Buddha disciple, they compose Abhidhamma, they write down all the texts, right? They write down. And then Vasubandhu compile it, compile, and make it into this Abhidhamma Kosha. So Abhidhamma Kosha contain all the 7 early Buddhist texts on Abhidhamma. Yeah, that's why it's a treasure. It is a treasure in that sense. Okay, let's talk about Master Vasubandhu. Then who is Master Vasubandhu? Master Vasubandhu. His story again, same as Asanga, if you have heard that. We say Master Vasubandhu. I show you this one. I go and write it down. His Tibetan name is Lopon Yitnyan. His date is 350 AD. He was the half-brother of Master Asanga. Their mother was a nun, as you know from the story. And then she had a clairvoyance, means she got a vision. Okay. And then she saw that Buddhism was in decline. And she saw that if she had children, they would become great master in Buddhist teaching. So she purposely disrobed, means she gave back her vow. She's a nun, right? She gave back her vow, she disrobed. And then she had 1 son by a king and 1 son by a Brahmin. Incredible. Okay. And they went on to become the greatest scholars of Buddhism ever. And they wrote most of the texts used in the monastery. If you remember, we learned in ACI 2, Abhisamaya Alamkara by Master Asanga. Then another one also, Uttara Tantra by Master Asanga. He wrote 5 great texts. I don't remember all of them offhand. Okay, so and then Master Vasubandhu is the one who write Abhidhamma Kosha incredible contribution to Buddhism. Oh, Laura and Daniel, the sauce. Sorry, I thought not the ketchup sauce, chili sauce. Laura and Daniel, if you don't mind, do you mind to type in the chat where are you coming from? Romania. Oh, hi. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, I try to speak better English. I try. Okay, this is a bit broken. Asian English. Please feel free to stop me and ask if anything you're not clear. Okay, and if you have any questions, I would for this ACI 5, I would like us to allocate some time at the end, like 5 minutes or to 10 minutes at the end of this class. If you have any question relating to this one, you can ask. Okay. Welcome, Laura. Welcome, Daniel. Thank you for your kind words. Yeah, let's make it delicious. Okay, so this is the the origin, okay, the origin to talk about where they come from, and this is in your homework question 1. Okay, just to go through quickly. The question 1 that asks you, what is our main text that we use? We say Abhidhamma Kosha. Who is the author? Master Vasubandhu. He's year 350 AD. But we cannot understand the main text, so we use the commentary. Because the main text is in poem, P-O-E-M, poem, and normally they like write very short word like the 3 affect the 4 kind of things. We cannot understand. We need commentary. So we use the commentary called the Illumination of the Path to Freedom by His Holiness the First Dalai Lama. His year is 1391 to 1474. So this is in your question 1. Question 2, they ask you to explain the words in the title of the root text, Abhidhamma Kosha. Did they say Abhidhamma or Abhidhamma Kosha? Oh, this is the title of the root text. Abhidhamma means knowledge, right? Abhi means up to or approaching. Dhamma means existing object, anything that holds its own nature. Okay, and the highest existing object is Nirvana. And so Abhidhamma is the knowledge that brings you to this state, to this Nirvana. Okay, now if you learn this knowledge, you have this knowledge, they can bring you to Nirvana. So far, okay. We move on to what is the knowledge now? We want to know what is the knowledge. Tell me what is the knowledge? Hello, long time no see. Yeah, it's a long time. Okay, so we want to go into what is this knowledge about? Wow, that is so incredible, so cool, that can bring us to Nirvana. I want to know about that. Okay, so knowledge is, I'm not showing my one, I show this one. Knowledge, Abhidhamma is knowledge, right? So what is that knowledge? The knowledge is unstained wisdom and its accessories. Again, Abhidhamma is what? Knowledge. What is the knowledge? The knowledge is unstained wisdom and its accessories. You notice that there are 2 parts here. What is that? Unstained wisdom and its accessories. 2 parts here, right? So there are 2 kinds of knowledge, 2 types of knowledge. What are the 2 types? Unstained wisdom, number 1. Number 2, the accessories. Okay, now I focus on number 1. Unstained wisdom. What is this unstained wisdom? Unstained wisdom is, wisdom we know is called sharab, right? Unstained wisdom is the three unstained path. The three unstained path. What is that? We learned before, there are 5 paths, right? Path of preparation, path of accumulation first, then path of preparation, path of seeing, path of habituation, and path of no more learning. So the 3 unstained path is referring to 3, 4, and 5. Path of seeing, path of habituation, and path of no more learning. So again, Abhidhamma is knowledge. What is knowledge? Knowledge is unstained wisdom and its accessories. So there are 2 types of knowledge. One is unstained wisdom. Number 2, accessories. And now I zoom in into number 1. What is unstained wisdom? Wisdom is also called sharab, S-H-E-R-A-B, sharab. And it's referring to the 3 unstained path, path 3, 4, and 5. Path 3, 4, and 5. Okay? Okay, now I go to the second one. Accessories. Knowledge is unstained wisdom and its accessories. I'm moving into the accessories, okay? I like to show this one. I need to see picture one. I try to help you all. I create all these things to help you all to better understand. Okay, I never understand when I was a student. I listen, I don't know what they say. I just do my homework and I don't understand, okay? Because I need to prepare. I have to read again and again. Okay. So I summarize it in this picture. Okay, so Abhidhamma is what? Knowledge. What is knowledge? Knowledge is unstained wisdom and its accessories. Okay, not? So unstained wisdom, I put it as number 1. So easier when I say 1 means unstained wisdom, 2 means accessories, because there are 2 types of knowledge. 2 types of knowledge. 1 is unstained wisdom, 2 is accessories. Okay, accessories here can be further divided into real accessories and nominal accessories. Real accessories and nominal accessories. Nominal accessories means in name only. As we know, the word nominal means in name only. Okay, it refers to wisdom that you're born with. Say, I was born as a baby. Come with me, some wisdom. Okay, wisdom that you're born with. Wisdom that you gain from studying to samgong. You learn from studying. Wisdom that you gain from contemplation. Wisdom that you gain from meditation. Okay, and also those books. They are all categorized under nominal accessories. Again, nominal accessories would be wisdom I'm born with. Okay, I'm born with. Then wisdom that from studying, like now in the class, okay, we attend Dharma classes, okay, wisdom from hearing or studying. Then the next one will be the wisdom from contemplation. You contemplate about that. Wisdom from meditation that you gain from meditation, and also those books that we use. They call nominal accessories. Whereas the real accessories will be your concentration and your hips. This concentration, level of concentration, okay, and the hips, the 5 hips. Okay, just now we mentioned about knowledge, got 2 knowledge, right? One is the unstained wisdom. They are called the real knowledge. Real knowledge. Cannot. Why they are called real knowledge? Because they are unstained wisdom. They can directly take you out of suffering. Whereas the accessories, they are not real knowledge. Again, the orange one, they are not real knowledge. Why they are not real knowledge? Because they are stained. Why they are not real knowledge? They are not real knowledge, and yet you put them as knowledge here. Why? Because you need to rely upon them to reach actual knowledge. again, I mentioned, these accessories here, the orange one, they are not real knowledge. But we call them knowledge because we need to rely upon them to achieve the real knowledge here in the blue. Okay. Is it clear? But you need to think about that lah, okay? But I make it easy for you so that in your future, if you do revision or anything, this is available to you, okay? Okay, I put it different color, so easier for you to recognize. So the blue one is the real knowledge, whereas the orange one is not real knowledge. But we need to rely upon them to reach this real knowledge. Okay, ta-da! Now Q&A. Okay, sometimes I prepare, I try to think about what are the things that I'm confused of. And I think maybe you might be confused also. Okay, now my question is Abhidharma Kosha real knowledge? Is Abhidharma Kosha real knowledge? 1 for yes, 0 for no. Lynn says she cannot see my screen. Can you see my screen? You can or not? Not if you can see my screen or not? Can Oh, I still say can. Okay, thanks. My question is Abhidharma Kosha real knowledge? If yes, you put 1, no, you put 0. Richie, why got number 2 one? But she's the only one who got it correct. Yay, she got 0. She put 0 is correct. It's no. Abhidharma Kosha is not real knowledge. Why? Because we say Abhidharma Kosha is under which one? Who can tell me under which category? Or maybe Rache can tell me. Right? Or you just tikam only. What is tikam? Is our language here means that you just simply guess only. Yay! Wow! Correct. Nominal. Yeah, nominal accessories. Yeah. They're all Hinayana. Okay. So it's correct under this category. Yeah, nominal. What is nominal accessory again? Okay, yay! If I can, I got an iPhone also, I don't know how to use it. They all put a lot of okay, I never use it. I only use it to call only. What's that? Okay, nominal accessories will be wisdom that you're born with, wisdom that you gain from studying, wisdom that you gain from contemplation, wisdom that you gain from meditation, and the books that we use. Okay, so Abhidharma Kosha is the book, isn't it? It's the book. So Abhidharma Kosha is in these nominal accessories. Wow. Okay. Okay, my next question is the accessories real knowledge? 1 for yes, 0 for no. Is the accessory real knowledge? We say no. Abhidharma is the knowledge, right? What is knowledge? Knowledge is unstained wisdom and the accessories. Knowledge is unstained wisdom and its accessories. So is accessory Real knowledge. Actually, I don't know who is a Zoom user.
It's me.
Okay.
Uh,
Angela, recognize your voice.
I felt that it's another kind of knowledge also. You know, kind of knowledge shared by others.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. There are two types of knowledge. We say Abhidhamma is knowledge, and there are two types of knowledge. What are the two types of knowledge? Unstained wisdom and the accessories. Right. I purposely trap you. Everybody put zero is correct already. Then when I say, listen, knowledge is unstained wisdom and the accessories. Then I ask you, is these accessories real knowledge or not? No, because it's orange here. I try to make it easy for you already. Okay. It is not. If not, then why you say it's knowledge? Because we need to rely on it to reach the actual knowledge. Okay, I need to let you digest for 30 seconds. Hi, baby. Little Emerald. Hi. Is that Little Emerald? Eileen, good to see you back. Hi, Jenny. Okay, I'll let you digest 30 seconds to think about that, to keep it in your inside your mind. My name is Diamond. Wow. Diamond. Yay. So isn't it good? She remind you every time, isn't it? You see her, she remind you to think about emptiness. Not bad. She should name your children. Diamond, emptiness. Remind you. Thanks, Laura. Okay. Yeah, thank you. That makes all my effort worth it. Yay. Okay. Okay, now, so you digest already, then it's time to do the question. I show you homework question 4. I should say, okay, take it out here. Okay, what things does the word Abhidhamma actually refer to? We say Abhidhamma means knowledge, and there are two types of knowledge. Okay, the actual knowledge, the first one is the 3 unstained path 3, 4, and 5. Okay, not right. So basically, the knowledge here constitute unstained wisdom and its accessories. And the accessories I explained already, which refer to the orange boxes. They are not the real knowledge, but we put it here because we need to rely upon them to reach the actual knowledge, to reach the real knowledge. Okay, so that is in your question 4. Okay, now I want to summarize what you need to learn. This is your summary. Knowledge is unstained wisdom and its accessories. Okay, this is what you need to memorize. Knowledge is unstained wisdom and its accessories. There are two types of knowledge. Those used to achieve it and the commentaries. This is accessory. Those used to achieve it and the commentaries. Okay. What are the things that you use to achieve it? Wisdom that you're born with, wisdom that come from from studying, wisdom that come from contemplation, wisdom that you gain from meditation, and the commentaries, which is the books. Treasure house of knowledge, because they all fit here in its point, or since they are its home. Basically, my understanding is, remember I said Master Vasubandhu compiled the 7 books of the early Buddhist texts on Abhidhamma. So they're all here. I want you to at least memorize 1.5. If you cannot do 1.5 to, they actually ask you to memorize 1.5 to 1.8, but I need you to memorize 1.5. If you cannot do all, at least the first one. Now, another Q&A before we move on to the next one. Now, what is the difference between Abhidhamma and Abhidhamma Kosha? What is the difference between Abhidhamma and Abhidhamma Kosha? You want to tell me, or you want to type in the chat? What is the difference between Abhidhamma and Abhidhamma Kosha? Yes, I still got it correct. Yes, Abhidhamma is the school. Abhidhamma Kosha is the book, the text that we are using. Okay, move on. Okay. It helps you to think about that. Huh? Angela say, real knowledge against the textbook. Is the knowledge, Abhidhamma, okay, the real knowledge against versus the textbook. Knowledge versus book, okay, Can I have the previous slide? Which one you're referring to? Which one in the previous one? Are you talking about the one with a lot of boxes, this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I missed. Okay,
Hmm.
thank you.
Okay, can I move on? Angela, can I move on? Okay, I want to correct myself. Just now I asked the question, Abhidhamma and Abhidhamma Kosha, right? So Abhidhamma, I would say it is knowledge. I wouldn't say that it is a, you can say it is a school. Sometimes we just say Abhidhamma school. But Abhidhamma, I would say it is a knowledge. Yeah, it is knowledge, not so much, unless we put the word school. Okay, I want to correct myself. I made a mistake. I was like too fast. I was looking at something else, got distracted a bit. So Abhidhamma is the knowledge, whereas Abhidhamma Kosha is the book. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, I go to the next one. There are 8 chapters, 8 chapters in Abhidhamma Kosha. 8 chapters where? In Abhidhamma Kosha. And I never understood about this. It took me so long to understand. Sometimes it seems that the subject is very heavy. Everything we study in ACI is very heavy. So I want to try to make it simple. I make it as easy to understand as I could. So chapter 1, Abhidhamma Kosha, chapter 1 is talking about all existing things separate into stained and unstained phenomena. Again, separate into stained and unstained phenomena. Stained by what? Stained by our bad deed and our bad thoughts. Okay. So again, chapter 1 is talking about everything. All existing things, stained, unstained. Okay. That leads us to chapter number 2. What is chapter number 2? If you are like me, stuck in the lower reality, stuck in the stained reality, then I have this body, lousy body that is going to die. That leads to chapter 2. Chapter 2. If I'm stuck in the lower reality, the stained reality, if you're like me, then I will have this body that will die, this lousy body that will die, chapter 2. And that leads to chapter 3. Then I would be living, I would be stuck and living in a world, in a world that is going to fall apart. I will live in a world, in a broken world that will fall apart. That is chapter 3. And that leads to chapter number 4, because of my karma. 1, 2, 3, because of my karma, chapter 4. And that leads to chapter number 5. Why I have that kind of lousy karma? Why I collect that kind of karma? Because of my mental afflictions, because of my bad thought, because of my negative emotion. Okay, now, why I have this karma? Why I collect this lousy karma? Because it is motivated by my mental affliction, chapter 5. Okay, and that leads to chapter number 6 that shows us that there is a path. There's a path that we can overcome the mental affliction. There is a path. Chapter 6. And that leads us to chapter number 7 by developing wisdom. Chapter 7, we can develop wisdom to get rid of the mental affliction in chapter number 6. And that leads us to chapter number 8, which is on meditation. Meditation as the what is that word called? As the base for the wisdom to rely on. Chapter number 8 is on meditation, which is the base for the wisdom to rely on. And I want to quote in the sutra that says, the mind in meditation glean pure reality. Can put the screen bigger. How to put the screen bigger? I haven't figured it out. I thought it's very big already. No?
It's the slides. I think
Slide,
you need to put the full screen slide, is it? Because like now
very
it's half
small,
size.
is it?
Yeah,
Is it?
the words is very small.
Oh, when you share screen, teacher Reg, when you share
Yeah.
screen,
Yeah.
right hand, share full screen.
Share full screen. Wait, I check again. Okay,
Just now,
stop
yeah.
screen. I
Just now,
share again. Then share.
full screen. Yeah, because just now we share, we see the screen, half is your face, half is the screen. That's why Angela said it's a bit small.
Oh. So if I share full screen without
Then
me
we will
there,
see, it's like, yeah.
okay, I can do that.
Thank you. Yeah, now it's much better.
Okay.
Thank you, teacher Rach.
Welcome. Okay, so these are the 8 chapters in Abhidhamma Kosha, which is in your homework question 3. Okay, I quickly do a quick revision again. Chapter 1 is they talk about all existing things, they categorize into stained and unstained. Okay, and that leads us to chapter number 2. If you are stuck like me in the lower reality, in this stained reality, then you will have this lousy body that is going to die. And that leads to chapter number 3. And then I will live in this broken world that is going to fall apart. And that leads to chapter number 4, caused by my karma. All these are caused by my karma. And that leads to chapter number 5. Why I collect this lousy karma? Because I cannot control my negative emotion. Because my negative emotion is the one that is the motivating force behind my karma, the thing that I do. And that leads to chapter number 6, that shows us that there is a path. There's a path that you can follow, that you can get into to escape from this suffering, to get rid of your mental affliction. And so that leads to chapter number 7, by developing wisdom. How to do that? By developing wisdom. And that leads us to chapter number 8, which is on meditation. That is the base for the wisdom to rely on. Okay. Are you good with this? Okay. Emerald, I'll come back to that question later on. Okay, can I move on? If okay, can type 1 in the chat. This is in your homework question 3. Okay. So let me, before I move on, I think I better go back to Emerald's question. She asked, could you please explain more about real accessories? This is my notes here. I just share with you. Okay, so knowledge, Abhidharma is knowledge, right? And knowledge is unstained wisdom and its accessories. And we know that unstained wisdom is the 3 unstained path, and they are the actual knowledge, the one in blue. Whereas the accessories, called Jedrang, is the means to achieve the actual knowledge. We rely upon it to achieve the actual knowledge. And they are not the real knowledge because they are stained. Stained by what? Stained by our bad thought and bad deed. And I list out this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's look at it one by one. And the nominal accessories, this one, the one orange accessories can separate into real and nominal. Nominal accessories are those in name only, the accessories in name only, which are the meditative wisdom that come from contemplative wisdom that come from the wisdom from learning, okay, and they are all dependent upon wisdom you are born with, okay, and the books. So 1 to 4, they are nominal accessories. 1 to 4, they are nominal accessories. Number 5 is the concentration and the hips, which is the real accessories. Real accessory. The concentration level, when we meditate, we need to reach certain level of concentration in order to see emptiness directly. Right, so this one is referring to our concentration that we are using, okay, and the hips, these hips, okay, the hips, there are 5 hips, right? So you need to rely on the hips and the concentration to achieve actual knowledge. And in the reading, they did explain about the concentration and the hips, form realm, desire realm, formless realm. Oh my God, okay, so you can read that on your own. But basically, we need concentration and we need the hips for me to achieve the real knowledge. Correct? I need to rely on this body when I meditate. I need this. I have this body. I need this concentration. Okay. I have the hips that come with me. In a more subtle one, I'm not able to explain. Okay. I just know in this category, this is what they need. Yeah. So those are the real accessories that we need to rely upon. The 5 hips and the concentration to achieve real knowledge. Does that help? Okay, good.
Yes, thank you, teacher.
Okay, welcome. So I have a question. We study so much on this knowledge, what knowledge, correct? Right? And why we want to study so much on all this knowledge? What is the purpose? From beginning, I said very important one, the knowledge is going to help us to start with the N. I just want to remind you again. Nirvana, yes. The opposite of that, you can think of helping you to get rid of your mental affliction. Okay, I want to read from the reading. There's one thing that talk about the purpose. Wait, not this one. Okay. Giving an explanation of knowledge has the following purpose. Without wisdom, which analyze every phenomenon in an ultimate way, there is no way of putting to rest all that the mental afflictions imply. And this affliction is what keeps those of the world adrift here in the ocean of life in samsara. Okay, so the knowledge is the one that will bring us to nirvana by defeating our own negative emotion. Another word for negative emotion is mental affliction. Okay, just to keep this in mind. Otherwise, without this in mind, then we thought, oh, this is so boring. Oh, don't know why okay, just tell me, okay, right? And don't be like me, when I was a student, very bad. So have that in your mind. Mental affliction, yeah. I write that for you, mental affliction. Mental affliction. Yes, correct. Negative emotion, mental affliction. Yeah, this is a spelling affliction. Your negative emotion like anger, jealousy. Okay, the main two. There are more than that. So those negative emotion is also another word for that is mental affliction. Okay, so the knowledge will help you to overcome this mental affliction. To put your mental affliction to rest, peace, no negative emotion, because you have this knowledge. What kind of knowledge is that? To analyze things in an ultimate way. Which means that in Abhidhamma, we say selflessness. Emptiness in higher school. In Abhidhamma school, we call it selflessness, no self. Things have no self nature coming from themselves, yelling at me. I didn't do anything. You just want to yell at me. And when you see that, we are the one who create our reality, then the anger kind of like just gone. Otherwise, you can keep on, the anger will be festering inside. You get more and more angry, more and more angry, more and more angry. Doesn't mean that when you learn that immediately you got no more anger, but you can see that the anger coming down, coming down, coming down, you know, at a more manageable. And then after a while, it doesn't quite affect you because you can see, I don't know, you just feel more peaceful, happy inside. Until such time that you completely eliminate all your mental affliction obstacles in their entirety, and that is nirvana. Okay. And then you have nirvana left over, nirvana with nothing left over. That is in ACI too. How nice it is. I got no negative emotion. How nice. Yeah. You'll be blissful all the time. I guess so. I haven't reached that stage yet. When I reach that, I tell you. Or when you reach that, you tell me also. Okay. Hold my hands. Don't just go on your own. Yeah. Okay, last section, then we are done for today. Last section. There are 4 requirements of a Buddhist book. 4 requirements. 1, they say the subject matter must be meaningful in the sense that they teach you something about the stained and unstained. They talk about all phenomena and categorize them into stained and unstained. The subject has to do with the knowledge that will teach you what is stained, what is not stained. Why? Why want to do that? 2, purpose is to plant the seeds of wisdom so that you have this knowledge. Number 3, why want to have this wisdom? To reach this goal. What is the goal? Nirvana. Okay, and number 4 will be, there will be a relationship between the 3, 1, 2, and 3. To attain nirvana, you need wisdom, and to need wisdom, you study the book. You study the book, you gain wisdom. You gain wisdom, you reach nirvana. Can you see or not? The 3, there must be a relationship between the 1, 2, and 3. So when I study this one, when I was preparing for my class, I asked myself, why do you want to talk about all these things? You know, then I start to, I'm very thankful because the opportunity to share will make you think a lot, you know. You really think a lot, I tell you. Otherwise, you finish, okay, bye-bye. Okay. You start to think, why do you want to talk about this kind of thing, you know? Nothing better to do, is it? I'm very bad, I'm very naughty type of student, is it? Then I start to feel that, oh, I know why they want to talk about this. I suddenly got this thing. I link to what I learned earlier. We always say that this life of leisure and fortune is so precious, right? It's so precious, this life of leisure and fortune. You don't have much time now. You have this precious life, this precious body and life, this situation, that you can use this as a vehicle to reach the higher state of evolution, to become a fully awakened being, fully enlightened being. And you have to use this opportunity. The time that you have is so not much, you know, to study about something that will help you. Help you in what sense? help you in an ultimate way to stop your suffering at the root level. If you have the unlimited time, you can live forever, then you can read whatever you want. You can read anything you want. But if you are like me, I don't have much time, right? Then I want to be more, I want to prioritize a bit, yeah. And I want to read something that fulfill these 4 requirements. Means that I read something that will help me to get out of suffering, that will bring me to nirvana, happiness, ultimate happiness. So you think about that, I didn't know that this small section is so, wow, incredible, Correct or not? Yeah. Otherwise, we can read all kind of gossip lah. I also like to read one, okay, when I'm free, yeah. Yeah, you like to watch YouTube video. I like to watch K-drama, Not to say you cannot watch lah. I try to limit that. Try not to watch at all unless I really want it so badly. I say, I really want it so long. I never watch already, Okay, then I let myself enjoy, just watch, But I don't want to make it like a lifestyle, a habit. I must watch every day. Oh, every day must watch. Then you don't have a need also. You're going to watch and watch and become a habit. The habit become stronger and stronger. So I'm very happy I kind of like get out of that because I'm very obsessed on I cannot watch movie, I tell you. Nobody can beat me. If I watch movie, I tell you, I will watch non-stop one, I don't have to eat. I'm very addicted one, I got this problem since young. I can watch and watch. I don't need dinner. Or when I eat also, I eat in front of the TV, I don't care, and I can watch until tomorrow morning to that extent. I'm not tired. I can just, even you're very sleepy, you still want to watch. Oh, the next one, because, you just want to continue. So I know myself, so I control. I tell myself, is it really necessary? Say, no, you're going to live. Are you going to live forever? Sit down. Is this what you want to do with your life? Okay. No. But can't I watch? Yes, you can. Okay. If I occasionally, now I kind of like, once in a blue moon, I feel like I need to watch the Korean. I don't watch drama. I watch the one episode variety show. Make me laugh, and then finish that, done. I cannot watch those drama because the drama, you need to continue episode 2, episode 3. I need to control myself. So think about this life of leisure and fortune that you have. You can also be very happy. I'm planting seeds for me to be more and more happy. So tell yourself so that you're not like taking away, then you're not happy. Make yourself happy, okay, but control a bit. Yeah. So this section is so useful. I didn't know, until when I prepared the lesson only, I realized, wow, this section is so meaningful. I need to tell my daughter because she likes to watch all kind of drama non-stop. She's in the broadcasting industry, so you can imagine, she's so much into watching movies non-stop, and then all these things. So I said, yeah, you look at it, if you are going to live forever, then you can just watch and watch and watch, Yeah, but now you have this precious body and mind. Can you guarantee that you are going to get all these perfect circumstances again? We don't know. We treasure that. And so control. I'm not saying that cannot watch at all. You can, but control. Even watching news also I control. I'm also very good at reading news, Read all kind of news. Now no need, cut down. Occasionally only I look at it. So the 4 requirements of a Buddhist book is so, to me, it's not just about the 4 requirements of a Buddhist book, but also tell me my priority. What is your priority and why? Why? So when you pick up a book, the book must be able to help you to learn about, to give you wisdom, knowledge. Yeah. And that knowledge will help you to stop our negative emotion, right? And then bring us to nirvana. Okay, so that is a precious part on this part. This is in your question 5. Think about that. Please think about that. Really, this is so unbelievable. I love this section so much, you know. I never appreciate that when I was a student. I thought it's a nonsense. Oh my God. Okay, I plant that seeds, huh? Okay, Angela says she watched cooking competition and singer show. Laura like cooking show. I watch every day at one episode. Okay, good. That's good. I discipline. Okay, Angela also, oh, very good discipline. Yay. Yeah. Not too much at the level which won't affect your life. Yeah. I cannot watch until now. I'm not sure yet. I need to test myself and see whether my practice has improved or not. Okay, I'm going to maybe find one K-drama and see whether have I improved or not. Now I'm like the 50-50 school, you know. You get away from that, right? You avoid. You avoid, then okay lah, right? Okay. What if the thing is in front of you? Are you still okay now? I think I should be okay because I'm not attracted to that anymore. You're very surprised, you know. You will find that the longer you learn, you don't have to force yourself or stop yourself. You kind of like get less interested in all these things. Yeah, less and less interested in those things like K-drama, those romantic show, or those variety show, you know, or whatever, you know. Okay, in fact, this is your meditation homework. Your meditation homework. Your meditation homework, I show you, Your meditation homework is this. 15 minutes a day, and in analytical meditation on the 4 attributes. What are the 4 attributes? These are the 4 attributes. Wow, Zen, good. Watch with the intention of practicing the understanding of our karmic seeds. Excellent. Wow. So I have a motivation now. I can watch. Okay. No, just kidding. Yeah, it's good. But if you have to watch, if you hold that in your mind, that's great. I did tell my teacher before. I told my teacher, I said, yeah, sometimes I got a problem. You know, when I get too much into the worldly, I forget. You know, nowadays I try to have that awareness all the time. And I can see that, of course, the improvement. I don't say every moment. Then you will start that the more when you start to forget karma and emptiness, you start to think more about yourself. When you start to think more about yourself, then you start to forget about that, you know. You kind of like the self-cherishing get stronger, you know. Yeah, Zin say, yeah. So it's a practice. Yeah, I love that. Zin is a very good karmic partner. Whoever have done a very lucky. They say you need to find a karmic partner. You know, I haven't got mine. I need to go and find a karmic partner who can help and help each other, and you can do confession, things like that. And that wraps up our class today. I want to do a dedication first, and if you have questions with regard to this chapter 1, okay, then I can answer that after this. Okay. If not, then I will bank those extra minutes I have collected today in the future class. All right, so let's do a dedication first. So let's get ready. Close your eyes. And be very, very happy with yourself that you're here. You are listening to this incredible Abhidharma knowledge that will help bring us to Nirvana, that will help overcome help us to overcome our problems in our life. So recall our motivation at the beginning of the class. And recognize what we are learning now and throughout the ACI 5 on how karma works will help us to overcome the problems in our life, to stop the leaking in our kitchen, and then we can go on to show others how to stop the leaking in their kitchen. So be very happy, rejoice that you're collecting this extraordinary goodness. And we want to share with everyone. We want to dedicate that to our highest goal, to share with everyone. So use 3 long exhale. 1 to send to the one person you want to help. 2 to send to everyone you love. 3 to send to all sentient beings in your universe. And see how the light touch them. Wherever something just shift inside them because of the ripples that you made. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring your mind back to the space here and to the room here. Okay, we can stop the recording.